everybody, this is Bill Sanders, and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today we're going to take a look at Tobias's collection, and Tobias is a student watchmaker, and I think he's got just about a year left, and he'll be graduated from watchmaking school. Now, one of the things you can expect from any student's collection, and they're not going to be the richest watches in the world, but boy, I tell you, this collection is very interesting, and I think you'll learn something from it. I did. So let's start. Now, a lot of these watches are quartz, and some I can spot, and some I can't. I mean, I can spot because they say quartz. That's about it. And but I'm not going to make a big deal about that, except where it's interesting. Okay, like the first one, it's called the Icarus Celestial, and it's a quartz watch. It's got over 1,000 stars on it. It's really an amazing watch. Next to it is a Casio WR, and it is Tobias's first watch. It's one of those old calculator watches that they had way back when. The next one is a Bonnet Messier triple calendar with a moon phase. This is down at the bottom left down there. It's really an amazing watch. Next to it is the Beijing Watch Factory Beha, and it's just a formal dress watch. All right, now again, these are not expensive watches. A lot of them are vintage, but so what? With students, this watch collection is impressive for any student of anything, let alone watch collection. Okay, this next group of watches, there's a Movado triple calendar. And the triple calendar refers to a little window with the day of the week, the month, and then the day of the month. That's the triple in the triple calendar. Next to it is an Elgin, and the most interesting thing about this Elgin is look at the lugs on that Elgin. All of these are wonderfully interesting watches. Down at the bottom down there is Lord Elgin Automatic. And next to that is a Russian watch, I believe, called the Luch 2209. Now, this next one is, to me, is my favorite of the whole collection. It's a calendograph pointer date. And what's interesting about it is that Tobias found two identical watches on eBay. They had the same reference number. Everything about them was the same. Simply there was a problem with both of them. And so he decided to buy them both and put them together and take the missing bad parts out of one and mix them with the good parts of the other one. And anyway, what he got out of it is a whole watch, the calendograph pointer date. It's not a Franken watch. That I know that a lot of people say, oh, it's a Franken watch. A Franken watch occurs when you have pieces or parts from different watches. I mean, if you put a Patek Philippe dial on a Rado or something like that, it would be a true Franken watch. But this one I don't see as a Franken watch because they simply had two broken watches, and by using parts that worked from both of them is making one workable watch. I couldn't do something like that, so I'm very impressed with this. But it's not a Franken watch. All right, moving on. Here you have a couple three Omegas. There's a Seamaster, a brown Seamaster. I really like that one. And next to it is an Omega Geneve Crystal Stop driver, and not diver but driver. And notice that it's got two different crowns at 12 o'clock on there. Okay, down below is the Omega 1936. It's called a 1936. It's from 1936, but it's got one of the neatest cushion shapes. It's a wonderful shape to that watch. And next to it is Tobias's grandfather's watch. And if you look carefully, it's been around, and it's been is a truly used watch. On the other hand, the two Omegas at the top look almost new, and on the Omega Geneve chronostop driver, boy, the band on that is just, or the bracelet, this gold bracelet, it's really a beautiful watch. So again, this is a guy who's going to be making our watches in the future. All right, let's go on. Now this is the beginning of what Tobias refers to as his Russian phase, and he was buying a lot of different Russian watches. And we'll start with the Ricotta. The first one is a Ricado Quartz diver. And those colors, I don't know why, but I just think that's a very interesting color combination to that. Now, next to it is the Kopernik, the Ricado Kopernik. And everything about it is cool. They have these two discs. One is hollow and one is filled. And there's a little stick on the end of each of the loops, and as the loops go around, they keep track of the hour and the minute. And it's just sort of a cool way to do it. It's a very creative way too. At the bottom left is a Ricado moon phase, and I sort of dropped down on that one so you could see some of the strap. The strap on that one is a very, it looks like a Hawaiian lay strap or something like that. A really cool strap on that, and this great big old moon phase right in the middle of it. And at the bottom right is a Ricotta Perpetual calendar. And this one I thought was a very, very interesting for a Perpetual calendar. I don't have one. I want to get one someday, but those things can be very expensive, and I'm not I don't have what I need to have to afford one right now. Now, in the middle, there's this one called the Pobeda, and it's referred to as, it's a wind-up, it's a manual watch. It's just a little one, and again, it's sort of, again, another interesting Russian watch. Continuing on with Tobias's Russian phase, a couple Vostok amphibias at the top. The one on the left is called the Neptune, and the one on the right is in what's called the 920 case. I like the amphibia in the 920 case with the little diver down there. The Neptune, I don't remember seeing it before, but it's a very interesting watch. Looks like sort of a desk diver, whereas the amphibia 920 looks like a real diver. At the bottom is the Cadet, Vostok Cadet, with that celebratory Hawaiian luau kind of band on it. And next to that, at the bottom right, is the, if I can say this, Vostok Commandersky Kaz. I'd probably loused up the saying of that. But that's just a cool looking watch with sort of part of the bezel with the red markers on it. Looks like a quarter marker on that one. All right, this now we're going to be leaving the Russian phase, and we get into what you might call a Seiko Quartz. There are two types of quartz. On the top there, you have two Seiko King quartz, a round one and a cushion-shaped one. And next to that is a high beat, Seiko high beat. It's not a Grand Seiko high beat, just a regular high beat. I'm not sure whether that's quartz or not. But the bottom two, these are two Seiko Grand quartz. So there's two Seiko Grand quartz and two Seiko King quartz. Now, the two on the bottom, the two Grand quartz, one of the characters is in Japanese and the other one is in, I'll say English, TUE for Tuesday, but it might be French for all I know. Probably not, though. And so there's a lot of Seikos in the collection. These are very affordable, collectible watches. All right. And finally, is this last group. You have a Universal Geneve. Those lugs on that just are wild. They remind me, the whole watch face looks like the from the Star Wars bad guys fighter planes. I forgot what they were called. But it's just a cool looking watch. The other one next to it is a Seconda Strela chronograph, and it's just cool looking old chronograph. At the bottom is a couple Tissot's. The one on the left is a Astrolon, and the one on the right is called a PR516. Okay, now I know that there's probably not anything that says, oh, that's a horological wonder. Even though I'm very impressed with the mating of two watches into one, using the good parts from two different watches. But it's a great collection. I mean, the kinds of watches that were found and collected, I thought were very interesting. And, you know, with one of the, I think the cardinal rule is always, you know, you don't buy more than you can afford. And if you're a student watchmaker, you can't afford too much. If you're a student, anything you can't. But these are very well selected, very interesting, and I had a number of watches I've never seen before. And I can't say that for a lot of other collections. I see the same ones again and again. And so with a collection like this, really, it's really a lot of fun to review something like this. So again, for Tobias, thank you very, very much, and best of luck. I don't think you're going to need a lot of luck. You got a lot of skill finishing up watchmaking school. Anyhow, I'd like to hear your comments, any ideas that's saying, hey, you know, here's something you might want to take a look at. And any other ideas that you may have about that, and your comments about this collection, I'd be very interested to hear about it. Okay, well, hope to see you next Friday, and in the meantime, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Side, the art and science of watch collection.